So Austin Riley is a little bit of an enigma this year. And why do I say that? If you look at his just kind of cursory numbers, right? I mean, just what his numbers are projected to be overall for the season, you're looking at 26 homers, 92 runs scored, 80 RBI. Now, look, that's not a bad number to have, right? I mean, that would still probably put you in the upper tier of third baseman. Is it what we've expected out of Austin Riley over the last couple of years? No, but those are still really good numbers. I mean, 25 plus homers, you still drive in 80 runs, score 92 runs, which, by the way, would put him at about his career high with number of runs scored. But look at a couple of underlying things for Austin Riley, okay? Right now, he's hitting, ready? 136 with runners in scoring position. I said that right. He's got 3 homers, 20 RBI in 78 plate appearances, hitting 136. Now, when you look at those numbers, Riley is coming to bat 26% of the time with runners in scoring position. He has 78 plate appearances in 302 plate appearances. That comes out to be 26%. So basically, you get a 4 at bat night. He's going to have at least one of those at bats that have runners in scoring position. And he really kind of hasn't taken advantage of it, obviously, with the 136 batting average. So again, when you look at the kind of cursory numbers, the 35,000 foot numbers, 26 homers, 92 runs, 80 RBI, as he's projecting out to be right now, those are pretty good. But I wonder I wonder how much Austin Riley is a guy who really benefits from what this lineup is. Look, we've talked before on the show. When they get their 7, 8, and 9 hitters going, whatever combination that is, whether it's Ozuna, Arcia, Michael Harris, Ozzy, whatever combination that is, they can't be beat. And right now, their record is outstanding in the month of June, and it's mostly because of what their offense is. And even Austin Riley, to some degree, has not had that big breakout week or month or anything like that, right? Like we saw, over July of a couple of years ago, or again, he's had these big months, but he really hasn't broken out. And the fact that their top of the lineup is so good that, again, when he's hitting third or fourth or whatever he's spot in the batting order, you've always got Ronnie on base. It feels like Olsen still is a guy that gets on base a good bit. So it feels like he's always got somebody that's on base for him. And then on the flip side, if he does get on base, then he's got Ozuna and Murphy and d'Arnaud and Michael Harris and Ozzy Albies and all these guys behind him that they just trot him around the bases, right? So I definitely think that while Austin Riley's overall numbers are projecting out to be pretty good, I think it's a function of what this offense is and how deep that their lineup is. You've got guys on base all the time in front of them. You've got guys that can knock them all around the bases right behind them. And again, that's 7, 8, and 9. When Orlando Arcia is hitting 325 from the 8-9 spot, and Michael Harris is a guy who's going to be probably 20-20, no matter what his batting average is, it's probably still going to be a 20-20 guy when all is said and done. When you got that kind of depth in your lineup, guys don't have to be good. And they're not asking Austin Riley to carry this lineup. Again, for a lot of guys, for a lot of teams, Austin Riley would have to be a guy that carries this lineup. But when it's Ronnie, Olsen, Albies, Michael Harris, d'Arnaud, Sean Murphy, not one guy has to carry this lineup. And guys can benefit from putting up numbers just to where you plug a guy in the lineup and things are going to happen all around him, right? Again, 26% of his at-bats are with runners in scoring position. Now, think about that. That's a crazy number. You come up your 4 times in a night. One of those times is guaranteed to have a runner in scoring position for you to pick up an RBI, sack fly, double off the wall, home run, whatever. Like, you're not having to create chances and opportunities because the guys in front of you are creating all those opportunities. And hence, from the back end, he's on a track to score a career high number of runs. Why? Because Murphy's banging them all in. d'Arnaud's banging them in. Marcell Ozuna's banging them all in. Michael Harris and Arcia, they're banging them all in. And that's the beauty of what the Braves lineup is. That's the beauty of guys. Look, Ronnie's the MVP of the league. We know that, right? Olson's had a big home run number, but even he's struggling, right? He's hitting like 229 right now. And look at Riley, by the way, too. In his last 7 games, now think about this. In his last 7 games, he's had 30 plate appearances. He's 2 for 26 with no homers, no doubles, no triples. He's got 2 RBI, a couple of walks, 6 strikeouts. So in that 7-game stretch here of late, he's hitting 077 with a 133 on base percentage, an 077 slugging, and a 210 OPS. And he hits 3rd in the lineup. You know what the Braves' record is over those 7 games? 5-2. You know why? Because their lineup mashes 1 through 9 mashes. And that's the beauty of what this is. So while Riley's 35,000 foot numbers will look pretty good, if he's 90 plus runs, 80 plus RBI, 25 homers, yeah, they may not be the numbers that we're used to from the last couple of years out of Austin Riley, but still, they're really good numbers. And yet, he's probably really not having that good of a season based upon some of the underlying numbers, based upon how many opportunities he's getting, based upon the 136 with runners in scoring position, based upon the fact that if he gets on base, there's 4 guys behind him that are ready to just drive him on home, just bang balls off the wall, bang him out of the ballpark, and he just trots slowly around the bases. He didn't have to steal a single base. All he's got to do is just stand on first and wait for everybody to drive him in. So it is interesting that an Austin Riley can be at this level, still put up good numbers, and yet probably not having a very good season in a lot of ways. And maybe you're kind of fooled by some of the numbers, but again, he's a product of what this lineup is, and that's the beauty of it. He's hitting 077 in the 3-hole over his last 7 games, and the Braves are 5-2. And by the way, have you noticed that the Braves aren't shutting everybody out 1-0? It ain't like the Braves are dominating in the pitching cat. Strider and Morton, those guys aren't dominating on the mound. Those guys aren't pitching 1-0 shutouts. No. This is 10-7, 7-6, 8-3. Like, it's that kind of numbers that the Braves offense is putting up right now. And that's why they've been so good. And Riley is a guy who's benefiting from everybody else around him, even hitting 136 with runners in scoring position